I'm going to show you how to get filthy rich in KCD. Before we start, I am in Ratai right now, and you are probably going to be a little bit worried about how high my lockpicking is, but don't worry. I'm going to make sure you guys have some options for that before the end of the video. So I need to show you guys where the gold conversion chest is. This chest will convert almost anything that you put into it into gold. If you put potions into it, it'll take a little bit longer. If you put anything that's not alchemy related into this chest, it will be into gold the next day. It happens at about 10 a.m. So just bear that in mind. You can also use this chest to launder items, but definitely avoid that 10 a.m. spot. Otherwise, you may lose the item because it is just basically going to get converted into gold. In any case, you can see that we came around the back here and we're going past where the alchemy bench is, and we're going to come through and we're going to interact with this wardrobe looking chest right here. Once you've picked your way into this chest, this is where you're going to be able to convert your items into gold. So you can put anything from your inventory in here, and I have a few bits and bobs I'm going to drop off right now because I've been doing a bit of looting, and that is going to convert all of those items into gold because that is a vendor chest. They sell from there because it's a vendor and he's going to reset his stock. That's basically what's going to happen. So all good there. So when it comes to getting some loot to sell, then we have several options. The first option I'm going to give you guys, and that's why it's nighttime right now, is to go on a stealing spree. If we look at my lockpicking skill, my lockpicking skill is maxed out because I've been doing a lot of it, but you actually only need to get it to around 8. As long as you've done some lockpicking, and if you don't have any lockpicks, all you need to do is go and do a quick visit to Peshek, which is the first miller guy. When we first get set free, he has lockpicks for sale, provided you have done the first quest where he sends you off to the executioner. So all you need to do is go into his inventory, you can purchase lockpicks from there, and then you just need to pick your way through a couple of cities. I'll leave a card, I'll have it pop up now, where we have walked through a few of the zones. We were already at like level 12 by the time we were through Ratai, and level 12 is technically the breakpoint, but we can do this at lockpicking level 8. You can then consume a padfoot potion. This is going to take you to level 13. Then all you need to do is trigger the Look of the Drunk perk. So we'll add 30% extra with the Look of the Drunk perk. We need to hit 15 altogether, like everything all totaled, to be able to pick very hard locks. And that's what we're aiming for right now. To get that potion, all you need to do is visit the witch that is in the forest. So I'm going to show you guys where this is on the map. You can see Ujit's here and you can see Talmberg. So it's pretty much directly north of the Talmberg fast travel point. But you can see all you need to do is follow the road up to the north, take this right turn on the fork in the road here, and you'll come across where the witch is in the forest, and she can sell you padfoot potions, which is going to get you that 5 additional lockpicking stat that we need. So if you get to 8, probably even 7, that's going to put you on 12. You then take the 30% potion, it's going to put you on 15. All good. We have got the lockpicking stat that we need to be able to pick all of the locks that I'm about to show you guys. So you got yourself prepared, you've got yourself a padfoot potion that should last 5 minutes, and even just savior schnapps is enough to trigger Look of the Drunk. So you could just take some auto saves along the way if you wish to, or just bring along a little bit of wine. That's all good. Zooming backing on Ratai, this is where I am going to give you the first kind of area that we can do this in. You can technically do the same thing in Sasau, but I feel like Ratai is more accessible, so that's what we're going to use. You can in fact just do Scalets as well, and I'll talk about that now. So if you don't want to be a thief, you could instead go up to Scalets. If you just fast travel here, often there are bandits or guards or something or other fighting each other right in this central part right here. Sometimes it's bandits versus traders, and the traders just die, and you got to deal with 4 bandits on your own. But if it's soldiers, you're basically just gonna get a load of free loot. So go check in on Scalets. Basically, by the time you've been to Scalets, you loot the bodies, you bring them back down here, sell your stuff, you can go back to Scalets, they've respawned, more loot, take it back down here. And so you can basically have a constant train of gold if you do that. I just prefer going on a bit of a stealing spree because it just feels a bit more fun. We're starting at the weapon shop here, and all we need to do is go into this doorway here, come on inside, make sure we're in stealth mode, obviously. And obviously, whilst you're doing this, you're gonna want to make sure you're not in heavy armor, and then we can head on in. Coming into the first room on the left, and this is where you'll find all of the loot for the weaponsmith. I'm obviously not going to go through picking all these locks, but that's where you're going to go. Technically speaking, I think it's this one, this red looking wood one, is the gold conversion chest for this shop. So you can technically do that here too. If that's something you want to use, you can do, but I just like using the one that's near the alchemy bench because it's convenient. If you've robbed the weapon shop, then we're going to come on around to the front, head on underneath this left archway here. As you look at this huge main building on the square, we're going to head on under the left side all the way to the back end. And then up these stairs, we can pick our way through the door, And then we can get on into this room right here. This one will also be locked. And then this is the armor smith's room. Now, if you didn't have amazing gear, by the time you've done these 2 rooms, you will 100% have amazing gear to do the rest of the game in. Both of these can be done during the day or nighttime, but there is a reason we're doing it at nighttime, because there are some shops where nighttime is favorable, and we're going to move over to one now. So back from the front, you can see that we have the armor smith on the left. If we come under this central one, we actually have the tailor. Now, when I do the tailor, it's probably not the most profitable of shops, but this one does in fact also have pretty good gear that we can go ahead and sell. Make sure we're going to darken ourselves down so we don't get seen. Head on inside. It's very obvious in here. You're coming into the back room, you rob all of these chests, and that's going to give you all of the clothier's loot. If you was doing this as a run at this point, you would then come on over to the left, drop all the stuff off in the gold conversion chest before we continue, and then we can move on to going up the hill. We're actually going to go to the left next. We're going to head on all the way up the hill. There are quite a few shops here. You could go ahead and rob them, but we're just going to go for the ones that give us decent turnover without too much effort. We're going to come up to the left so that we go through this archway. This is where the huntsman is, and we're going to come on into the back where this easy door is, and then into this back room. And this chest here, which actually has an easier lock on it for whatever reason, is where we can get a load of bows. These also seem to have pretty good value on them, and of course the arrows don't look like they're worth a lot, but 40 times 5 pretty good, 60 times 5 pretty good. So you can go ahead, take all of this down, and get that converted into gold as well. Lastly, we're going to go to the cobblers. This one actually requires it to be nighttime, because otherwise you just can't get to the chest. The footwear in there does sell for a good amount of cash. So come on back out of the archway that we just went under and take a left, and then as you're walking up on the right hand side, you'll see that we have this triumvirate of shoes right here, and then we can turn to the right. This is the most risky one, which is why we left it till last, because obviously there's lots of guards patrolling around everywhere. So we need to douse the flames and hope that our stealth saves us if somebody decides they're going to patrol past us. Head on inside. And then the chest that you want in here is actually kind of difficult because we need to open up. You'll need to knock out the cobbler himself, and then you can pick this chest, which is where all of the shoes will be and all of his money. If robbing those isn't enough for you, obviously get all that dropped off, and then you can go ahead and just loot the rest of the town if you wish to. Mugging guards is also quite profitable, and whilst it's nighttime, it's actually not very difficult to get into the 2 towers. We have one right here and another one at the back end. It looks small, but this one actually has a lot of loot in as well. If you loot those 2 towers, turn that all into gold, you'll be rich in no time.